good, eh? No, I got one too. That's what it is.
When it came to funding initially, like I know you said that everything just kept rolling and just through coincidences, but that doesn't always happen.
No.
So in terms of grant writing and actually trying to solicit broadcasters, what's the best advice you could give in a nutshell?
What I would say is this. I mean, in a way, this film was just a perfect fit. It's compelling. Everyone was queued up to do it. It's an unusual thing in some ways, and it was also possible to do with a couple of license fees, tax credits, and I think you had one other grant that was a kind of work or apprenticeship kind of grant that was involved. So we were able to do it with that kind of budget. But you're right. I mean, frequently it takes a lot longer to put together those pieces. I would say that on other projects that I'm working on, it's not at all unusual for it to take a year to put together all the financial partners for a film that's, say, you know, in the $250,000 range. That's not unusual by any means. For putting together bigger deals, I just recently finished a project that had, I think it started off with 8 international partners. It went down to 6. It took 18 months to do the contracts alone because they had to be translated into 4 languages. It was $4 million for about $1 million an hour for a miniseries. And so, you know, that was about 3 years to put together the deal, 18 months to deal with the paper being translated. And while that happened, the currencies, it was American dollars, euros, and pounds. And the euro just went stratospheric, and the budget was off by 1/3 at one point. So, you know, this is not, like, I'm giving you the 2 extremes. On the one hand, you've got Samba Squad, where all of your planets align. And on the other hand, you can get a project like the one that I'm talking about is Secret Files of the Inquisition, where the planets are like spinning totally out of control. And, you know, the producer, you know, like aged 10 years and 2 years. And, you know, he's okay now. We're still friends. Everything's good. But it was, you know, I mean, it was crazy. Does that give you a sense of the kind of extent of?
And I would say, I mean, I don't know. I'm certainly not a film financer. It's not, you know, but. I know for us, again, it came back to when we start with literally with a music video or with you could, I mean, even if say you're not doing music videos, you might be doing a documentary or you might be doing a feature film or something. But starting with that short and saying we don't have to raise $250,000 or we don't have to raise $1 million. We just have to raise about $10,000 to do a day, and that's much more achievable. In our case, and in lots of people's case, I think in this country, Bravo Fact is phenomenal, literally, because it is as simple as, I mean, not everybody gets it, but the process of applying for it, in terms of a grant, you can't find an easier grant to write. You just download the information, it's 4 pages long, you add in your extra information, and if you get it, they give you the money, and you give them the film. And it's literally as simple as that. And we look at it, and maybe it's not from Bravo Fact. For us, sometimes we'll find the money from somewhere else, or we're slowly getting to the point where we can invest some of our own money now into making a day-long shoot and getting a demo, and then using that. And then for us, it's been I'm still trying to find an easier way to do it too. But for us, it's literally been going to the broadcasters with the proposal and the demo now, and finding those broadcast licenses. When we did the Nathaniel Debt Corral, you know, as emerging as literally infantile filmmakers, we had never done broadcast licenses before. So when Vision said yes to the proposal, and they had the video and they said yes, we literally went out and got a book. And said, now what do we do? And I phoned a friend of mine who was a producer on the West Coast, and I said, Eric, I'm in serious trouble. I've got a broadcast license, you know, which makes no sense to call it trouble, but it really was. And we sent the package to all the other channels, and we sent it to every funding agency we could think of. And it took us a year to put the financing together. And in that one, we went to the CTF, and we had never done that before. And we kept joking that if we couldn't raise the money, at least we had produced a book, because we had like a 200-page application from CTF.
But in fact, that application is still one that when people say, say, you know, because we work with a fair few sort of beginning, emerging producers. People say, well, how, you know, what's a good proposal? Can you show me a good proposal? We still show that proposal.
Yeah.
Because it was really, really well put together. Do your paperwork. Do it well. Don't make spelling errors. Don't like to sound school marmish. But it helps. Spelling counts.
A big part of it is that investment of time, too, is just looking at it
yes, that's
as
what it is.
This isn't going to happen in the next, I mean, unless somebody can tell me something different or help me out and make it shorter and less painful, but it's literally, this is an investment, and so that, and then it comes back to, and I know for Liam and I, over and over and over, we're reminded of this. It comes back to the subject that you're focusing on, the story that you're telling. It becomes so important, not just in terms of you know, an entertaining story and having lots of people watch it and like it, but you have to live with it for 2, 3. Some people live with them for 10 or 20 years, and if you're going to live with it for that long, you better love it. And, and that's why, for us, working with Samba Squad, these guys are so easy to live with for the 3 years that it took us to make the film. That was a pleasure, you know? So that's really important, I'd say.
Right.
Uh-oh. You want to check on the mic?
I'm just the actress. Use that whenever possible. Thank you. No, that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. So entertaining.
Let me recap those days. The 20th at the Mod Club.
Next Wednesday.
7 o'clock. You're all invited.
7:30.
7:30. Oh, don't come at 7. 7:30.
No, get early. Line up.
Okay, and then we've got the broadcast on the 28th, 9 o'clock. 10.
10 o'clock.
I don't know. I just make them. I can't figure out where they go.
Big concept.
Hey, 28th, 10 o'clock, Vision. Watch it.
Had you mentioned that it was at ReelWorld in 2006, by the way? We screened at the Samba Squad, so yes. Absolutely, and it was fantastic.
Thank you.
So thank you, and I'll let you...
Shuffle.
The bus. The bus is waiting. No, that was fantastic. Oh. Get your copies of Playback. They're at the back of the room. Make sure you don't leave without one. Steam Whistle. Well, you guys didn't get any here, but if you were at the Empire on Saturday, you would have tasted that. And Grace's Tropical Fruit. They've been with us since the very beginning for the festival and also for our Indie Film Lounge. So thank you. And Uptown Health Center, thank you for the water. Mo Jawan, chair of our board, and several of our board members I have to mention. Mo Jawan, who's our chair, Lynn Stoltz and Sasha Guy, who work very hard with our staff organizing all the events for the Indie Film Lounge. I have to thank them. My mother over here for putting up with me and my craziness. Thank you so much, Mrs. Cora Williams Harrison. And Allison, I hope she's out there. Allison Wilson Forbes, our Indie Film Lounge coordinator. Please come up, Allison. And Kimberly, love you guys to come up. Did a phenomenal job. I hope they're making their way. I have my glasses on, so I don't see a head moving up here quickly. Oh, there it is. Come on up, Allison. And also, Kimberly, are you there? Come on up. They did a fantastic... Has this not been the best Indie Film Lounge this year? Come on up. It's really so hard to put all this together, from all the case studies to the one-on-one meetings. Say hello. Say hello to something.
Hello.
Right, she's a woman of few words. Anyone